Listen for comprehension.
Freedom to disagree.
Be impeccable with your word.
Don't make assumptions.
Don't take anything personally.
Always try your best.
She can't get away from the fact that God created the races, and you are going to be different. You can't help it.
God
to be like that.
One race, the human race, and human beings created racism.
I honestly can't even think of a response to that.
Do you have a green card?
Little smart remarks, like you can't tell unless you catch it. Like questions like where it's like it doesn't need an answer.
How quickly I get sunburned.
Whether or not I'm here legally.
I don't put sugar in my Kool-Aid. I bet you do.
If by being Asian I could read Japanese. I don't think it's affected me. I feel fortunate.
Yeah.
No.
Good amount of America doesn't want Mexicans here. Like
everyday life, police brutality. Like you don't see that happen to a Caucasian.
Until middle school.
Everyone just always comments about how pale I am.
Not till I was really old because everyone at my school was white.
When I asked my mother if we were Mexican because I was watching Dora the Explorer.
One of the police officers, it was like, how are you guys doing? I was sitting in the back and he asked me, he said, so, you smoke weed? I'm like, nah, I never smoked weed a day in my life. And then he said, really? Come on now, like, you can tell the truth. And that made me think, I'm like, why do I have to smoke weed, sir? He's like, I know all you guys smoke weed.
Certainly.
I don't really define myself by my race at all.
That's like asking me, am I privileged? No.
Oh, definitely.
I would think so, yes.
I mean, directly impacted? No.
I could be, Trayvon Martin. I could be, Mike Brown, like Sandra Bland. Like it's bigger than me, and it doesn't impact me that much because I've seen it so much. I've heard it so much. It's kind of like a lifestyle.
I don't feel directly affected. I do when it comes to immigrants mostly.
That's a dumb statement that people like to hide behind.
Like dogs are different colors and dogs are dogs,
Because just saying, oh, I don't see color, that's kind of rude to say.
To try to prove that they're not racist.
We're all the same species.
Like you don't see people based on their race, you just see them as a fellow human being.
We shouldn't pretend that we don't all have diverse background.
You have to see that. It's just something you have to see. Whether you want to respect it or not, you have to see it.
No.
Yes.
I think it's pretty obvious I'm Caucasian.
Not even.
No.
They're like, oh, I was 100% sure you were a terrorist.
I don't want to be left out of anything because of my race.
Work, it's about the most time I have to deal with people in other races.
Yeah, I haven't really experienced it because I'm from an urban city where it's mostly black. And it's a little diverse.
Personal interactions with my family.
Rarely.
It's kind of like this subject that people stay off of a lot.
About every day.
Not often.
Anytime I'm sitting at home watching the news and I have to listen to that dumb fucking president speak.
Yes, I'm actually not familiar.
Getting things handed out to you.
And white people think they're the superior race.
White people getting opportunities that, other races might not get.
White guy, he just had, easy path, nothing in his way. black guy, he had obstacles. He had, you know, a rope tied to his foot, a hurdle in his way. And it's like, you can get it done, but it's like, instead of 5 steps, you got 10 steps.
I don't think so.
I do not worry about that.
No.
Hope not. It might.
I don't generally worry about it.
A situation where I'm trying to get a job and I may not get it because I'm black.
There were 5 of us, including my parents.
My mom, my brother, and I, so 3.
We were fairly well off.
Very poor. Pretty messy, I guess. Unstable.
I grew up with both parents and 2 younger sisters, and then my parents divorced and both remarried.
My parents, both of them pretty well equally.
Before my parents got divorced was probably my dad, and after my mom.
My mom and my dad.
Of like public school and video games.
I think school socialized me most.
School socialized me the most. That's where I made all my closest friends.
My parents growing up.
Family, obviously, and then school.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I just have more sympathy towards people in different situations.
I think it's pretty much the same.
Definitely, I think.
I guess it would probably be my religion.
That I'm a girl. That I was raised Jewish.
Economic status.
Your race and gender?
Gender or race.
That I'm white, honestly.
Race.
Honestly, I would say race.
Probably religion.
Gender, perhaps?
I don't really have a desire to learn about any of my identity.
Race.
Probably my ethnicity.
Probably religion.
I think the way I was raised in a lower class poverty family has a huge effect on how I perceive myself.
Gender.
Socioeconomic status, and I think gender.
I'd imagine my gender and race.
So being Jewish, I think people like that's a little different sometimes, and I was raised a little differently because of that.
Ethnicity, because it's something that people try to take a guess at anytime they look at you.
Economic and gender.
I think people look at my gender a lot.
I pay a lot more attention to my religion now than I did when I was small.
My race, yes.
Economic. Gender.
Identify with my ethnicity more than when I was a child.
Because, like, as a child, I wasn't trying to formulate those beliefs. Like, a lot of them came from my parents.
I think about my socioeconomic status a lot more than I did when I was a kid, because when I was a kid, I just go with the flow, do whatever is happening.
As a child and growing up, I never thought about it.
I'm lucky to even have another black person in my class.
Where I work, a lot of men thinking that they can just overpower women.
If you enjoyed our video about race, gender, socioeconomic status, and socialization, the 4 things that I just explained do play a factor and define who you are, but they should not ever, ever stop you from being what you want to become. But not everyone believes that, and not everyone seems to actually get it. It's our job to look back at these videos and realize that everyone's answers are different, and look back and say, hey, how can we be the ones to make the change in the future? We're all different, but that does not mean that we shouldn't have the same playing field. We actually really should. It's going to be hard, but you're definitely the ones who can break this cycle and make sure that everyone is treated equally. I mean, it's 2017. Shouldn't the change start now? We believe in you.